Hello, welcome to Mary's Little House. Welcome to the YouTube channel of Mary's Ministry. I am so happy you made it again. We just finished a series of 10. Take 3, please. And we're now, I'd like to experiment or go with a new series called Take 10 with Jim. Take 10 with Jim. And this is the first one, Take 10 with Jim, number 1. I got some feedback and said people said that 3 was too short and I couldn't develop anything very well, right? And I was always rushing. So I'm going to try this. Please bear with me, and I really need your feedback. I know this is something new for you all, for me too. God bless you for bearing with me. Today's topic is the little way of spiritual childhood, as given to us by Saint Therese of the Child Jesus and of the Holy Face, the face of Jesus. That was her full name. Saint Therese of the Child Jesus and of the Holy Face. Some call her the little Teresa as compared to the big Teresa, Saint Teresa of Avila. Some call her Saint Therese of Lisieux. That was where that was her home, and that's where her convent was, in Lisieux, France. And I was very privileged to visit her and to pray at her tomb. Oh, I'm so grateful. This is what makes me tick right here. I discovered her little way years ago when I was younger, and it's so beautiful and so simple, so gospel-like and evangelical. It's the way of spiritual childhood. Jesus said, if you want to enter the kingdom of heaven, you must be like this little child he was holding. You know, you must be as a childlike as this little child. Not childish, far from that, you'll see that, but childlike. There's 3 tenets I want to talk to you about of the little way of spiritual childhood. You don't have to be a rocket scientist, I'm sure not, to know how this works. First of all, the first tenet is everything is a grace. Like you listening to me now is a grace. I hope it's a grace for you. Everything that happens to you, the good, the ordinary, the hard, the difficult, everything is a grace. Everything is God revealing himself in his love. Grace is a gift, and God is giving this moment to us to surrender to. I just love it. Remember that the spiritual life is a life of romance. So here's God, his son, now wooing us and calling us to be generous, or to take this consolation, or to share this part of his cross. But so everything is a grace. It's not like we're wasting our time when we see things where we haven't got anything done, the day's been a disaster. All of that has been a grace. When we receive it, we accept it from God's hands. And the grace gives us more graces. We come more and more in love with God. So everything is a grace. And we'll get back to that one. I want to just go for the 3 things we want to say. Number 1, everything is a grace. The second, the basis of this whole way up to God is childlike trust. Complete childlike trust. Saint Teresa in God the Eternal Father. Saint Teresa said she sees herself like a little child in the arms of the Father. I know she's an adult and everything, but she sees herself with the attitude of complete trust that she could lay in his arms and not worry about dangers or anything, not worry about what's next to eat, not worry about anything. And Jesus talks about that, not to worry about anything. But the Father knows we need all those things. Seek first the kingdom, and all we need will be provided. But anyway, that childlike trust. So that's the second thing. We'll get back to these things again. And the last thing is, when we are so loved, we can't not love others. But when we're so loved, love is like good. It diffuses itself. It's got to come out. Hello, we can't hold it all in, or it wouldn't be love. It'd be selfishness. But listen to this now, because I got some. It's so little neat how someone's put it. I think I have the right way to put it. To love others, okay, and to be loved by love, with a capital. God is love. To be loved by love, and to make love, capital. God is love. Make love loved. Okay, the little way leads us and calls us to a life to love others, love God, of course, to be loved by love, L-O-V-E, with a capital L-O-V-E, and to make love loved. When you love someone, you want to just share it with everybody. You're just so proud, like mommy with a baby. Everybody oohs and ahs, and strangers and everybody come over. Oh, isn't he cute and everything? Well, your mother wants to share that. That's good. That's a share what we love. Well, so to love others, it's got to come out, or else it's going to be all selfish, and it'll be like the Dead Sea. It doesn't have any outlets, and there's nothing in there. It's just dead. It's just salt. Yuck. Anyway, so to love, to be loved by love, God, to let God love us. Everything is a grace. Everything's loving us all the time and taking care of us all the time, and to make love God loved. So those are the three things. So how do we live this little way of spiritual childhood? Well, we live it in trust in God. I remember seeing a little boy. I stopped at an AW stand when I was traveling up in northern Minnesota. Then there was a miniature golf course there, and it was during the day and nobody was around. And the dad let the little boy be fascinated by the castles and the little houses and everything of this miniature golf. And the dad was just delighted. And the little boy could completely open to that experience because he didn't have to worry about strangers kidnapping him or anything like that. And that's the way I feel our Father watches us. We're fascinated with life. And we can be fascinated with mystery and surprise and childlike wonder, seeing it for the first time. The Father's watching over us. So the things that we're fascinated with, the daily life, everything becomes a gift. This breakfast, or this burnt toast, or this the dog needing to go out. Everything is a grace, calling us to say yes to God's love, yes to His love shown in all His care and providence and tenderness and protection. Everything is a grace. The second one is, I'm mixing them up because it's only one thing. It's trust in God. And trusting God and being loved by God leads us out to love others, to share what we are, the love we have from God with other people, to be provident and caring and protective of those we love that God's given us to care for, as the Father cares, protects, and provides for us. So the little way of spiritual childhood is like what Jesus called us to be. It's this gospel thing. Unless you become as little children, you shall not enter the kingdom of heaven. We can't go to heaven with a bunch of self-importance and all that other stuff, worrying about everything. We go to heaven as a child, trusting on our Heavenly Father. And this leads us to this whole treasure we have. The only thing I have, and the saints have said this too, it's not original, is our own nothingness. God's given me this body and given me this time on earth and the breath I'm breathing and the heartbeat I'm beating. But the only thing I have is my littleness, is my sinfulness. And that, you think that, that's an obstacle to holiness. Well, no. St. Therese of the Little Flower says, each new revelation of my littleness does me more good than a new insight into the faith. What she means by that is, when God sees us so little and we want to be picked up, God's heart melts and He picks us up. Our very littleness brings us to experience God's mercy and love. And the littler we are, the more love God can give us. God bless you now. We'll continue on this later. God bless you. Have a wonderful day, a wonderful evening. Bye-bye now.